Hi guys, again. If you're new to my channel, I'm Michael and I like to do motorcycle related content, be it with my Harley, my camper trailer or this teardrop trailer I'm building. Why I say again is I've been prattling all afternoon thinking I've been talking to the camera and I've had a connection issue and it never recorded. So all the things I spoke about today is now longer unavailable. So what have I done? Well, I started putting the back part of the camper trailer on. I bought myself a tube bender. As I said, I was going to have an engineer's place bend them, but they wanted, it was quite expensive to have them all bent. So I ended up buying a square tube bender, which was about $60 more than having them bend them. So, and now I've got it for future projects. What I did is I've kind of redesigned the back of it. I've gone for a slightly more bulbous shape where I had quite an extensive slope and then a curve, then a straight and then a curve. I've kind of come out more bulbous and then come in. To give my kitchen or my galley a little more area and gives the cabin space a fraction more area. It's only probably 20 centimeters or 8 inches bigger in this configuration with a higher top. The bottom's still the same, but the top's not as sloped now where it's actually comes around. I'll show you in a sec. To bend that shape, I basically welded my two pieces of tubing together, just tacked a weld along them, run them through the tube bender. That way they were both the same. I didn't really have a template to go off because I, as I said, changed the design while I was starting to bend it. I bent it kind of right to start with and then going, no, I don't like it when it was actually in its physical shape. So I changed it. So I bent the two pieces, and when I had the original design, it was about 500 mil shorter than what it was. So I've cut these pieces off, started bending it, didn't like it, welded the 500 millimeter pieces back on, and then it looked right, because it just, I don't know, it just didn't look right in the settings. So what I've done is this. So what I've done, as you would know, hang on, I'll position you different. This is the piece I had welded up, and it was going to come down from here, down this angle, and then curve. So what I've done is I've extended it out along the roof line, which actually gives me this much more room in the cabin itself. And then I've come down and around and basically back to where it was. So the difference is it's gone from maybe this height up to there, and I've gained this much height. So instead of bending it here and going up to this corner, I've extended it out and gone around. As I said, so it's actually given me more space in here, in this area. So in tow, my kitchen, I think it's roughly there. It's hard to tell while it's on these platforms. Roughly here goes up, and that'll give me a bigger space inside. As you can see from, this is where I've had to rejoin it. Up there. So I've basically gained that much space, which is about 500 inside the cabin. And I think long term, it will be better if I'm doing longer trips. Shorter trips, it doesn't matter. It wouldn't have mattered. But longer trips, I would definitely notice the difference in that little extra space in the front. So for me, I've gained about 500 by say 400, 20, gained about 2 square meters, which is quite a lot in a little van that's only 1 meter high by sorry, 1100 high by a metre wide, gaining that extra 2 square metres roughly of virtual space is great. So it should be good. Yeah, pity about the tube bender scenario. I'll show you my tube bender I bought. It's only a cheap manual one. It was still about $360. But this is it here. It's a Kaka. It's got a crank on it, a couple of adjustable wheels, you put your pipe in, adjust it, crank it out, and away you go. But it's actually quite good. Oh, and I don't know if you can notice, I've cleaned up my workbench a lot, and I used to have a big pile of stuff under a sheet there. So I've taken all that out. Tony, who I share a house with now, he's my new housemate, shall I say. He's got a Subaru based trike. I don't know the brand of it, but you'll probably see it in future videos, coming in this week. So I've got a space for him to park. See, this is my work area over here now. So that's what it's looking like now. As I said, it's a little hard to tell why it's so high, but I think the kitchen goes across here, so there's a brace here, goes out, there's a brace down the back, a couple more in here, and the lid, the door hatch goes about here. So that'll go from approximately this space to about here. So I'll just rebend those curves and put a hatch. So that'll be great. I prattled on about all sorts of stuff this afternoon. Last Friday, I knocked my glasses off my bedside cabinet and I rolled over to pick them up so I wouldn't tread on them. And as I pulled myself back up into bed, I pulled a muscle in my back. So for a couple of days last week, I was in so much pain. And a number of days this week, I've been in horrendous pain. And for those of you who know, I work for the Department of Education up in Dinner Plain, and our kids arrive back tomorrow. So I went to the doctor on Friday because I couldn't bend over. I couldn't, if I was sitting bolt upright, that's why I'd probably look a bit awkward now. If I sit bolt upright, I was comfortable, but I couldn't get off my couch. I couldn't get out of bed. It was horrible, horrible, horrible. And I keep having muscle spasms. So I went up to the doctor on Friday and they put me on muscle relaxants and oxycodone. So I'm kind of vague, but I'm comfortable. So I probably shouldn't have been doing this while I'm medicated, but I needed to get it done and keep it going. So I won't put this video up by itself because it'll be too short. So later in the week I'll weld some more stuff up, which you won't know because it'll be on this video, and then I'll launch it. The sun's starting to go down now, so until I see you again, give us a like and a thumbs up if you like this sort of content, and I'll see you soon. Well, hi guys, back again. I've welded up some bracing and the pieces at the back. So what I'm doing now is I was given some of these, this is what I wanted to do originally, extension frames, tracks, sorry, to roll it out on the side, the front section to roll it out on the side. So what I'm doing is I'm just calculating, because these are about 100 kilo each, 120 kilo each rated. I don't need them to support the front because I'm still going to have these little nylon wheels fitted. So I'll mount to the drawbar so the middle can roll on it. So I'm only needing basically to support it at the back and bring it out, because then these wheels will support the front. So these should be quite sufficient in their length. They're, I think it says it's 30 centimetres. So they're a 30 centimetre draw slide, and then I think it's 62 centimetres fully extended. Yeah, 62 centimetres fully extended. So if I position that where I think it needs to go, which is just back a fraction, that should give me quite the extension that I need. So that will possibly work, so that'll be good. So that's what I'm tracking on, I'm working on at the moment, these little draw slides. So they come halfway up the rails, and then, as I said, I've got these 50mm wheels, which I'm going to take off just the wheel and have a side bracket mounted, and then the wheels will bolt, one here and one at the back, to support it in the middle, just so it slides easier in and out. So that's what I'm working on at the moment, but I'll show you what I've been doing. So I've just closed that garage door a little bit because it's a little bit bright. So as you can see, I've put supports here, 3 supports across the back. Between these two is the kitchen. So now the kitchen extends to this area and across. That section at the back will be general storage, where I can keep my battery and bits and pieces. And from there forward will be my cabin, and this part up here will be the kitchen. So I'll be able to have room for a cupboard to go all the way along now, from top to bottom, and then still have approximately 40 centimetres for my workbench cooking area. So that should be quite good. Because I've changed this design now, I'm kind of freewheeling it. I don't really have a plan to work off, so I'm designing it as I go. But it's coming along, it's taking shape. I'm actually glad I did that now. Even with the door, I don't know if you'll be able to see that, that's about 700 long. So that'll be the pitch of the door roughly when it's open. So that'll be, oh no, sorry, from this one. So that'll be quite good. That'll give me plenty of height to stand under. When it's down on its right height, it sits about 6'5". I'm 6'1", so it's about 4 inches, 100mm clearance above my head. So that'll be good. So it's coming on. As I said, the original design went from here, kind of sloped up to here. And I've gained quite a lot of space. I'm glad I did it. I wasn't going to. And when I first did it, I thought, oh, what have I done? But now as it takes shape and progresses, it's good. Decided I was going to have a window in the door, but now I'm going to have a larger window in this section here. So what I've decided to do is I was going to have a window in the door in the slide out section, but what I've decided to do now is have a larger window here. This is 600 wide. So I'm going to have a 500 wide window by 400. I'll offset it slightly so it'll come down to about here. 2 sliding windows either side, dark tinted. I'll show you what I've got in mind. This is what I've kind of ordered. And that should be plenty of light to go in here instead. So it's a little bit of a slow process because, as I said, I'm not following plans now for this rear section because I modified that back. I'll be following the plans again for this front bit. I'm happy I've got those tracks, so that's going to be good. And so the only variation to the front is I'm not going to have a window in the door. I think that would be the only thing. I've got a 40 centimetre or 14 inch by 14 inch skylight, a wind up skylight in it, so that'll give me light in there as well. So between the two windows and that should have plenty of air circulation and light coming in. As I said, the windows on the side I've got dark tinted, so it'll still give me light, but I just don't want people to be able to look in that easy. At night time I'll have, if I'm in an area, I'll just have curtains to draw over it or something like that. But during the day I don't particularly want it brilliantly light. So. And during the day I'd likely to have the door open and stuff anyway, so to give me enough light. So that's where I'm at the moment. So I'll continue doing my tinkering, and once I sort this slide section out, I'll come back and show you what I've done. Hi guys, well I better do this before I forget. I've been on and off working on this for a couple of days now, and I keep forgetting to film. I think I mentioned earlier in this video I put a small set of draw runners on it to work out the system. Well, during the week I've ordered a 1500 fully extended set, 750 when they're compressed, 750, and they're 150 kilo rated each, so that'll be plenty for the front. So what that does is allow my front end to slide out right now, right out. So this is it retracted right back. So this is the piece I'm making at the moment. I've made both of those up. I've just got to trim them and shim them a little bit to allow for the aluminium skin that'll go on it. At the moment it's zero tolerance, so I need to take 1 or 2 millimetre off. So that's the shape of the trailer now when it's fully enclosed. As I said, I need to take 1 or 2 millimetres off it and level it out to make it the right shape. It needs 2 mils taken out of the middle, just so it doesn't flow in and have a well at the roof. Because when I did it, I allowed for the old tracks, and these tracks are 2 millimetres higher or 3 millimetres higher. So they need adjusting slightly. But that's easy enough to do. It's just a matter of cutting it and re-welding it. So that's easy enough. I'm hoping that light hasn't faded away too much for you. So it's a little bit tight at the moment, and it's only lightly bolted on. I've got a couple of bolts in place so that I can pull it out and weld it and do things. I've added the front wheel to it, and so it's all good. So it's got 2 little clips, and that will slide out to approximately there when it's fully extended. So it has a good range. So the wheel at the front, I don't really need it, but that supports it at the front and it makes it rigid. So it's very tight and there's no movement in it at all. What I'm going to do, it does lock in when it's fully extended out, but because I'm not quite going to pull out, I'll put a little clip at here, and so that will stop it from going too far forward, and that'll be removable. So if I ever need to take this front section off, I'll be able to. It unclips and it slides right out. But that's what I've been up to for the last couple of days. As I said, it's only got a couple of bolts in it. All the holes have been drilled and stuff. But I want to be able to do it once I work it all out, take all the hardware off and then paint it in primer or something. Because all of this is hidden anyway. But where the wheels were and all the bits and pieces, I want to be able to prime it all up. So going back in, it slides in, and it locks back into place. And then it locks back into place. So I'm happy with the way that's going. It rolls quite nicely. Oops. Rolls quite nicely. As I said, there's a 50mm wheel here at the front. You probably can't really see it, but you can see the bracket where it is. And that's just to add a bit more stability. There's no movement in it, it's pretty rigid, pretty tight. So when that's extended out to where I'd like it to be, the original one I did only come out 30 centimetres, or retracted it only 30 centimetres. So basically that much, it wasn't even worth having it on there. But this almost extends right to the front of the drawbar now. So there is the front leg that'll go here, and then the tow hitch from out there. So with that approximately in situ, it's just held in there with a clamp, as you can see. The actual cabin space from inside that wall it's 2300 to this wall, but the actual floor will go back to 2100, which is what I allowed. 2100 inches at the edge of this frame. So that's more than substantial space to sleep in. And if I was to slide that back in, hoping this doesn't fall over, and with that fully retracted back now, that basically gives it a total towing length of 2050 millimetres, the cabin. So which then will set the weight of the axle way back. So I'm quite happy the way that's working out. It's looking like it's supposed to. As I said, I did modify the back to give myself more room, and I'm glad I did that now. So it's happening. So if you like this sort of content, I'm going to actually wrap this video up. So if you like this sort of content, give us a like and a thumbs up, and I'll be posting a little more often now. A lot of this framework is done, and as I said earlier in the video, I hurt my back really badly. I had some physio yesterday and I'm feeling way better for it now. So I'm actually a little more active. So thumbs up, check out my other videos, there's a couple in relation to this. I think there's about 35 other videos if you haven't seen it before. And until next time, take care and stay safe. Bye for now.